Exclusive contract from Feilu Fiction Network Novel. Mystery. Looting opportunities, leaving the protagonist with no way to go. Lin Ming travels through the fantasy world and will die in 6 months. He turned his gaze to the son of Qi within the sect. Name: Lu Xian, Destiny. Heavenly Sha Lone Star, Script. Protagonist, Recent Turning Point. In the afternoon, with the guidance of residual souls, obtain the Blue Dragon and Wilderness Elephant technique. There's no way, in order to survive, we can only seize the opportunity of the protagonist. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Footstones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tianxian Gate, the residence of an outer disciple. After a tiring day, Lin Ming returned to his dilapidated small attic and looked up at the sky, discovering a gray cloud covering the entire sky. The sunlight became thinner through the clouds, losing its warm feeling. Standing on the balcony, Lin Ming sighed with emotion. It has been 3 years since I came to this world, he muttered to himself, feeling a little emotional in his heart. He was originally a person who stayed up late playing games and died suddenly, but he crossed into this fantasy world. This world is called the Xianling realm, which has been passed down by aristocratic families for thousands of years, sects for thousands of years, and empires ruling over countless people. However, the family to which Lin Ming belongs is just an ordinary medicinal family, and its inheritance is not outstanding. He is unwilling to become an ordinary person in both worlds. He has shown outstanding talent since childhood, knowing 1,000 words at the age of 3 and reciting poetry at the age of 7. Soon, he began to imitate the poetry of the ancients, and the reputation of genius spread throughout the vicinity. At the age of 8, he caught the attention of nearby forces, even the Tianxian sect, who sent people to take him as their disciple. The Tianxian sect is a sect that has been passed down for thousands of years, possessing countless martial arts techniques, and the strongest members within the sect are like clouds. The elders of the heavenly Xian men came to evaluate his qualifications, but found that Lin Ming's cultivation ability was only at an average level. Unless there was a huge opportunity, it was difficult for him to achieve anything. However, the elder was moved by his talent in literature, coupled with his dignified appearance, and decided to accept him as an external disciple, and promised that if he can break through to the realm of blood exchange, he can enter the inner gate. However, 12 years have passed and he only practiced until the late stage of forging. This body's qualifications are really poor. Lin Ming muttered to himself. In this world, the strong stand high and overlook all living beings. No matter where they are, the weak are as insignificant as ants, and hard fists are the truth. This is particularly evident in the place of Tianxian Gate. He has been a disciple of the heavenly Xian men for 12 years and has been practicing until the later stage of physical fitness. This kind of cultivation speed is actually not slow. However, in the situation where the Tianxian sect recruits tens of thousands of disciples every year, who of these disciples is not a genius? Compared to them, Lin Ming's gap is very large. If it weren't for the herbs provided by the family, he would probably still be in the early stages of physical fitness. Many disciples from outer sects can break through to the realm of blood exchange and enter inner sects within 8 years. In the heavenly Xian men, geniuses emerge endlessly, and there are also many who are not satisfied. Lin Ming is one of the slightly older but unable to break through disciples, and he is not an exception. The sect has issued the final order that if 1 month later they fail to break through to the realm of blood exchange, they will be expelled from the mountain gate. Lin Ming felt a bit bitter in his heart, thinking that the opportunity for breakthrough seemed unattainable. He couldn't help but doubt whether he was destined to go home, marry and have children, and spend the rest of his life in obscurity. Suddenly, a disciple rudely knocked on the door, claiming that there was a letter to hand over to him. Give me the letter, then get lost. Lin Ming's attitude towards this fellow disciple is also unfriendly. The relationship between Lin Ming and Li Qi is very special. Lin Ming became the eldest senior brother of the outer sect due to his age advantage, while Li Qi was the second senior brother. As long as Lin Ming leaves, Li Qi will have the opportunity to stand out and succeed in promotion. However, Li Qi has been waiting for 2 years and 3 months. He mocked and said, "Pooh, you are the most useless senior brother in history. When you are expelled from the sect, don't say you are a disciple of the Tianxian sect. I feel ashamed. Talent is innate. If you don't have the talent for cultivation, don't force yourself. Go back now, don't embarrass yourself here." After finishing speaking, Li Qi disdainfully spat on the ground, casually threw the letter on the ground, and then left gracefully. Lin Ming picked up the letter and looked at Li Qi's back, his eyes slightly narrowed. However, at this moment, his face suddenly changed. A virtual screen appeared in front of him, with text densely appearing on it, like a game interface. Name: Li Qi, Realm. Late Forging Stage, Current Fate. Hidden Dragon in the Abyss, Life Script. One of the unknown supporting role in the Xianling world, recent turning point. While delivering a letter this afternoon, I met a messy old man in the market outside the pill hall. I purchased a mysterious pill from him, which is an ancient 9th grade marrow washing pill. After taking it, I broke through my current state and was promoted to an inner disciple. It's here, it's here. It's coming with a ding-dong sound. Lin Ming appears calm on the surface, but his heart is filled with joy. Meanwhile, Lin Ming immediately opened his message. Name: Lin Ming, Realm. Late Forging Stage, Fate. Stepping Stone, Life Script. An unknown marginal character. A month later, you can't wait to go to the pill hall, eager to break through your own strength. However, just as you were seeking opportunities, you unexpectedly met the protagonist who also longed for breakthrough pills. Due to their shared goals, you were caught in a verbal conflict and ultimately engaged in a fierce battle within the sect. Unfortunately, you became a stumbling block for the protagonist to break through, being defeated by him and left behind. Lin Ming stands in front of a virtual screen displaying his personal information. However, when he saw the word stepping stone, his mouth slightly opened and his pupils tightened. Who is the stepping stone? Is it me? Unbelievable. Lin Ming's heart was filled with doubts. He thinks his appearance is handsome, so he should be the protagonist. However, facing the unchanging screen in front of him, Lin Ming had to accept reality. He began to realize that if he failed to seek opportunities to succeed in a month, he would be recognized as a stepping stone for the protagonist. This also means that he will not be able to be promoted to an inner sect disciple and will eventually be forced to leave the sect. Perhaps not, perhaps I will encounter a serious illness and my life will be on the line when I return. Lin Ming frowned, his heart filled with worry. He walked to the window and saw Li Qi downstairs carrying his mailbox and preparing to leave. External disciples need to complete tasks regularly, one of which is to deliver letters. At the same time, Li Qi also noticed the presence of Lin Ming. He firmly raised his middle finger and then pointed downwards, making a recognized mocking gesture. Lin Ming saw this scene and made a decision without hesitation. He wanted to seize the opportunity of Li Qi. Since Li Qi is so difficult to deal with, how should the protagonist deal with it? Lin Ming's mind flashed with many experiences from novels, and the protagonist often acted like Xiao Chang. No matter how dangerous it was, he could eventually turn the tide. The women around him also surrounded him like intellectual disabilities. Lin Ming squinted his eyes, his mind full of thoughts. However, he did not forget the fact that he was destined to be the stepping stone for the protagonist. Lin Ming harbors fear towards these destined protagonists. After all, their luck is just too strong. Fortunately, I have awakened my golden finger. As long as I make good use of it, I also have the capital to compete with the protagonists of this world. Lin Ming thought confidently. Let's see who the real stepping stones are. Lin Ming decided that the first step in seizing the opportunity was. Chapter 2. Wash Marrow Pill. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lin Ming's gaze fell on Li Qi. Recent turning point. This afternoon, while delivering a letter, Li Qi encountered a messy old man in the market outside the pill hall. He purchased a mysterious elixir from the old man, the ancient 9-grade marrow washing pill. After taking it, he broke through his current cultivation level and was successfully promoted to an inner disciple. The ancient 9-grade marrow washing pill is a very precious pill that can not only increase physical fitness and unblock meridians, but also improve cultivation speed. It can be said that this is a very valuable pill. For Li Qi, this breakthrough is very important because after successfully being promoted to an inner disciple, he will enjoy better treatment and resources. However, for Lin Ming, his understanding of Li Qi is quite profound. Lin Ming knew that Li Qi was a typical ungrateful person, and their feud began 4 years ago. At that time, Li Qi had just entered the sect, dressed in rags and with a yellow and thin face. Lin Ming looked at him pitifully and gave him 2 sets of clothes, and also lent him a lot of money. However, Li Qi lacked gratitude and instead slandered Lin Ming behind his back, saying that he was only doing this to maintain his reputation. Since then, Lin Ming has never paid attention to Li Qi again. Later, Li Qi showed outstanding talent and made great progress in cultivation. Especially after learning that Lin Ming's realm was hopeless and he would be abandoned by the sect, Li Qi's attitude towards Lin Ming became even more disdainful. However, the 9-grade marrow washing pill in front of Lin Ming was deeply moved. He knows this is an opportunity to change his destiny, improve his cultivation skills, and possess better talents. This will completely change his fate. I must get it. Lin Ming secretly made up his mind. He came to his senses and watched as Richie had already left. Lin Ming immediately left and decided to rush to the destination first to seize this opportunity. He knows that only by holding onto the pill can he feel at ease. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Li Qi delivered the letter to the residence of the medicine-practicing elder outside the Tianxian gate. Dong dong. Li Qi knocked on the door. Soon, a short and chubby man wobbled open the door. He appears to be in his 30s, with thick and short limbs, a slightly protruding belly, and a twinkling of excitement in his smiling little eyes. This man is Li Jun, an elder practicing medicine. Elder, sorry to bother you. This is your letter, please keep it. Li Qi's attitude was very respectful. Li Jun glanced at Li Qi's appearance and was slightly stunned, as if he had seen some familiar shadows. He asked calmly, "Are you an outsider disciple? Where is your ancestral home? What is your surname? Who else is there in your family?" Li Qi bent down and bowed, answering honestly. Report to elder, the disciple's surname is Li, and their ancestral home is the Li family in nearby Qinghe County. Their parents' names are Li Chunlin. After leaving the room, Li Qi felt a bit puzzled. Li Jun's eyes as he looked at him were full of kindness, as if an elder were looking at younger generations. This surprised Li Qi a bit. Li Jun told him that in the market outside the pill hall, there was a messy man who could get a special opportunity by reporting the name of Elder Li Jun. It is said to be a special type of pill. Although he didn't know why the other party was so enthusiastic, if he could get this opportunity, he would successfully enter the inner sect, instantly improve his status, and no longer be an ordinary disciple of the outer sect. At this thought, a proud smile appeared at the corner of Li Qi's mouth. Lin Ming, you righteous guy, look down on me. You wait, in a while, Li Qi will stand in front of you and show you how much it still feels like before. Li Qi sneered in his heart, filled with resentment and disdain towards Lin Ming. For him, Lin Ming's initial help was just charity, looking down on him. He wants to surpass Lin Ming and make him regret the contempt and neglect he had in the past. When Li Qi went to the neighborhood, Lin Ming had already come to the scruffy man. He is wearing a mask, which is not eye-catching in the local market, and many people choose to hide their appearance for trading. Lin Ming arrived at a stall located in a remote corner, where various miscellaneous items were placed. A messy old man in linen clothes sat cross-legged in front of the stall. Found it. Lin Ming walked over inconspicuously. The old man still closed his eyes and meditated quietly, but Lin Ming didn't pay much attention and began to choose in front of the stall. Quickly, he picked up a bottle of body-quenching pills. A bottle of 10 spirit stones, the old man said calmly. It's too expensive. Lin Ming shook his head and said. The normal price for quenching body pill is 1 bottle of 8 spirit stones. 1 bottle of 8 spirit stones, I need 5 bottles, and 2 more bottles of qi and blood pills. The old man opened his eyes and glanced at Lin Ming. After a moment of contemplation, he nodded and said, okay. After the transaction was completed, Lin Ming put away his things and casually pointed to other pills, asking, how do these pills sell? You also know how to sell at market prices, replied the scruffy old man. If it's based on the market price, I might as well go to the sect to purchase. Lin Ming shook his head and said, then added. I'll cover 80% of the market price. The old man glanced at Lin Ming, pondered for a moment, and then nodded in agreement. Lin Ming completed the transaction with satisfaction. Even though he had very few spirit stones left on him, he did not feel sorry. He knew that as long as he could get a bottle of Jopine Marrow washing pill from it, all of this would be worth it. Go back first, take the wash marrow pill. Lin Ming thought of this and didn't stop much. He quickly left the booth with all the pills. Half an hour later, in Lin Ming's room, a bright red marrow washing pill lay quietly in his palm. It emits a charming red light, like blood. Lin Ming did not hesitate. He knew that delay would lead to change, so he immediately swallowed the wash marrow pill. Suddenly, a pure energy surged within him, and his meridians became more unobstructed, with internal energy continuously flowing into his limbs and bones. He nervously operated his techniques, feeling the power of blood boiling. After half a sound, Lin Ming opened his eyes and excitedly said. It's truly a pill that sharpens the foundation, worthy of its reputation. He smiled on his face. Chapter 3. Feng Song. You are listening at novelfull.audio. While Lin Ming was refining pills, Elder Li was consulting Li Qi's information. Qinghe County, Li family. Father Li Chunlin. Everything is right, Li Qi is my own illegitimate child. Alas. There is no time for cultivation, I almost forget about having family. Li Jun looked in the mirror and sighed as he looked at his pale eyes. I hope that after obtaining the elixir from my senior brother, my son can change his qualifications and see the world of the strong for me. When Li Jun was young, he was full of energy and felt that the world was right under his feet. But now, although they have just broken through the realm of refining dirt and have good strength, compared to the same group of geniuses of the same age, as long as they are still alive, most of them have broken through to the extraordinary realm. Thinking of this, Li Jun couldn't help but feel inferior, feeling that he was inferior to others in all ways. Now he can only rely on Li Qi for hope. That messy old man is Li Qi's senior brother. And there is filth between the two. A few days ago, they entered a ruins and obtained many good things. Due to the equal distribution of benefits, Li Jun wanted to take a wash marrow pill without his senior brother's knowledge, so he deceived his senior brother into saying it was just a regular pill. He knows his senior brother well and knows that the other party is very short of spirit stones, so he will definitely sell the pill. Coincidentally, his illegitimate son has appeared and can complete his swap plan. On the other hand, Lin Ming still sat cross-legged to practice alchemy. After half a fragrant time, the blood in his body was like a flowing river, flowing continuously. At the next moment, a stronger momentum surged out of him. After the blood boiled, Lin Ming opened his eyes. Immediately, he found that his body was harder than before and full of strength. Breaking through the realm of blood exchange. Lin Ming's eyes showed surprise. He operated the technique and intuitively felt that the intensity of qi and blood circulation increased 3 times compared to before. Not only that, physical fitness has been comprehensively enhanced. Lin Ming instinctively threw a punch forward, only to hear the sound of tiger and leopard thunder coming from within his muscles and bones. I really made a lot of money with such a powerful force. A flash of surprise flashed in Lin Ming's eyes. He didn't expect the pill to have such a powerful effect, not only allowing him to break through the realm of blood exchange, but also greatly enhancing his physical fitness. Oh! Lin Ming exclaimed in surprise, realizing that his cultivation speed had doubled compared to before. He clenched his fist, feeling the powerful force of qi and blood, and a sincere smile appeared on his face. The next day, a fiery red sun rose from the distant east, and the sky seemed to be smeared with invisible colored pens. Pieces of colorful clouds float in the air, the dawn is vast, the morning glow fills the sky, and the vast land becomes bright. Everything is shrouded in a peculiar color, and the standing trees are like silhouettes inlaid with golden edges. The morning light passes through the sparse branches and leaves, casting a mottled and colorful light and shadow. Lin Ming walked straight to the inner door disciple registration office, but before he could step into the threshold, a surprised voice rang out. "Hey, isn't that the person?" "That's right, the genius of our sect." "Oh, why did he come to the inner gate?" Lin Ming looked up and saw a short and chubby man with short limbs and a face full of flesh. He was the young genius Feng from outside. Feng father is a well-known local businessman, and there is some animosity between the two of them. Once, at a party, Feng's confession to his beloved girl was rejected, but that girl confessed to Lin Ming on the spot. This scene made Feng feel very embarrassed, and since then, he has harbored resentment towards Lin Ming. Oh my! That literary and Taoist talent is rare in the world. Lin Ming, who once alarmed the sect elders to personally come and recruit disciples. No matter how strong one's talent for literature and Taoism is, what's the use of it? Cultivating talent can pull the crotch, and being a useless person who has been in the sect for 9 years and still stays in the realm of forging body. Do you know how that elder evaluates you now? You feel unlucky at first glance. Feng spoke with a strange tone, his words pointing directly at Lin Ming's heart. Lin Ming frowned and said coldly, "Get out of the way." Feng took a step and tilted his head to look at Lin Ming, sarcastically saying. What's wrong? Is any of what I said false? I never expected someone to stop telling the truth. Faced with Feng's mockery, Lin Ming frowned even deeper and said, "Don't force me." Feng sneered. "Forcing you? You may have overestimated yourself, right? I'll tell you, Feng is the best in this area. I'll make you push me, what can you do?" After speaking, Feng swung his right arm and punched fiercely towards Lin Ming. His movements were fast and fierce, his fists were fierce and loud. In fact, if it were an ordinary person, Feng could not harm others in front of everyone. But he has a reason, because his beloved goddess has been secretly in love with Lin Ming. Although Lin Ming's strength is not strong, he has an outstanding appearance, which made Feng jealous of him. Feng has been using precious medicinal herbs for physical exercise since childhood, and his strength has reached 600 pounds. His identity is not simple either. Lin Ming did not want to cause trouble in public, but in the face of Feng's provocation, he received 3 consecutive punches and retreated step by step. Bang! Feng seized the opportunity and punched Lin Ming on the head. Lin Ming was infuriated by the beating, unwilling to be outdone. At the same time, he was also attacked and instantly kicked towards Feng's vital point. Lin Ming pretended to take a few steps back, his body swaying slightly. Feng let out a scream and quickly squatted on the ground, sweating profusely on his forehead. After more than 10 seconds, Feng slowly stood up. His standing posture is very unsightly, holding his arms and panting in his mouth. Footstones glared angrily at Lin Ming, his eyes icy, without concealing his anger towards him. You're just a waste. You only know these despicable methods. You have the ability to confront me head-on poo. Just a little white face like you, I don't know why Xiaoru likes you. Footstones insulted Lin Ming to his heart's content, as if he could gain a sense of satisfaction. Come on. Let's face it head-on, let's see who retreats and who's the grandson. Lin Ming narrowed his eyes and his heart was filled with anger. He has endured for so many years and doesn't want to endure it anymore. He hooked his finger at Footstones, who was stunned. Has he already been knocked unconscious? Surprisingly agreed to confront him head-on. You should know that he is not one of those wealthy second-generation people who only focus on eating, drinking, and playing all day. Although he occasionally enjoys life, he spends more time practicing. Facing him head-on, isn't it seeking death? How dare he? Lin Ming shook his head, his whole body blood condensed, and rushed towards Kong. Footstones reacted quickly, seeing the other person approaching, his mouth curved upwards, revealing a sinister smile. This young man really can't stand the stimulation. Footstones set up his defensive posture, and he already had a plan. He needs to teach this kid a lesson and make him understand how big the gap is between them. Some things are innate and cannot be obtained through lifelong effort. Footstones, who had been practicing in the sect for 4 years, had already reached the late stage of physical training, but why did Lin Ming, a useless person, confront him? However, when the two collided, Footstones felt a huge force attacking him, losing control and flying backwards out. After falling to the ground, Footstones felt his internal organs being reversed, and a stream of blood gushed out from the corner of his mouth, uncontrollable. Chapter 4. Internal Entrance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Isn't it just positive? Why can't this be okay? At this moment, Lin Ming stood in front of Footstones angrily and patted his cheek hard. Lin Ming originally just wanted to give the other party a lesson and leave, but seeing Footstones' gloomy expression, he knew that the other party was not convinced. After Footstones recovered, he immediately wanted to take the pill for revenge. However, before he could stand firm, Lin Ming kicked him with a sweeping kick, followed by several consecutive kicks on his head. Footstones was immediately knocked unconscious again, and his entire head was swollen like a pig's head. Lin Ming waited calmly for Footstones to wake up. How can he make the other party leave easily? A large group of people had already gathered around, and usually such incidents occurred within the sect. Someone would intervene to stop them, but due to Footstones' bad behavior, many people were unwilling to intervene. Well done. That bastard Footstones used to call me a ground beetle and deserved to be beaten. Footstones' former disciple quickly turned around to find a helper. Elder, my friend and others have been fighting in the sect for quite some time now. Please go and take a look. Why are you only looking for me now? Ah. I used to think my friend had an advantage, but now he's been beaten. It's Lin Ming, the senior brother from the outer sect, who hit people. Lin Ming. It's okay then. He has always been a very polite person and definitely won't cause any harm. When Footstones woke up for the 5th time, he was completely confused. This kind of repeated torture is really unbearable. Having been hit so many times in a row, he felt mentally drained, as if he had stayed up all night. Please, stop fighting. I was wrong. As more and more people gathered in front of him, Lin Ming reached out his hand and said, I can skip hitting you, but I'll accompany you for 20 minutes, 1 spirit stone per minute, for a total of 20 spirit stones. Footstones raised his head in surprise upon hearing these words. Surprisingly, there are still such people. Although he felt that Lin Ming was too shameless, he gritted his teeth and took out 20 spirit stones. Footstones really doesn't want to continue suffering. However, as he left, his eyes were filled with conspiracy. He swore that the other party would die without a doubt. He is now about to break through to the realm of blood exchange. Once he succeeds in breaking through, the family will purchase him a set of advanced equipment, and then he will practice advanced techniques. He must find this place back. Lin Ming did not know Feng Song's thoughts, and even if he did, he would not care. Because he has already seen Feng Song's attribute panel. Name: Feng Song, Realm. Late forging stage, Fate. Misfortune entangled, Life script. None, recent turning point. None, without any chance and plagued by bad luck, Lin Ming refused to pay attention to him. He glanced at the crowd of onlookers and found that no one was willing to stand up for Feng Song, so he turned around and walked towards the inner door. Although the inner and outer doors are adjacent, there is a clear gap between the two places. As soon as he stepped into the inner door, Lin Ming's vision was completely different from the outer door. Arrays are arranged everywhere, and spiritual energy surrounds the surroundings. He saw several birds and auspicious beasts soaring and howling in the air. What an inner door! Lin Ming sighed as he felt the rich spiritual energy. He continued walking forward for a few minutes and saw a guard on duty. Elder, I have broken through the realm of blood exchange. Lin Ming walked up to the middle-aged man, bowed respectfully, and spoke up. This elder was the person who guided him into the sect. He promised to let Lin Ming enter the inner gate as long as he broke through the realm of blood exchange. At Lin Ming's current age, even if he breaks through the realm of blood exchange, he doesn't have much potential for the sect. After practicing for so many years before breaking through, his qualifications are indeed average. Is that you? The middle-aged man opened his eyes and glanced at Lin Ming, saying in some surprise, I remember who you are. Elder, you have such keen eyesight. My aptitude is shallow, and I am ashamed to have only managed to break through now, Lin Ming said. With your qualifications, it's not easy to get to this point. The elder sighed and then said. Well, that's all for now. Since you have broken through the realm of blood exchange, then go in. The elder sensed Lin Ming's breath, confirmed his breakthrough, and then took out a token to record Lin Ming's information. Remember, practice well after entering. This token contains your residence and mission information, remember to read it carefully. If there is anything you don't understand during the cultivation process, you can come and ask me, the elder admonished. Thank you, elder. Lin Ming took the token, bowed again, and then turned to walk towards the inner door. At the same time, Li Qi arrived at Fengshe and urgently found the messy old man, speaking. Senior, Elder Li Jun asked me to purchase pills. The scruffy old man frowned and casually pointed to the newly placed pill on the stall, saying. 15 spirit stones per bottle. Li Qi glanced at the pills on the stall and did not bargain. Instead, he bought all the pills with 150 spirit stones. After a while, he opened all the pill bottles, squinted his eyes, and furrowed his brows. Inside are all ordinary pills. Is it the elder joking with me? This was his first thought. But he quickly dispelled the idea and believed that Elder Li Jun would not make such a joke. He speculated that someone might have switched pills, so he quickly went to find Li Jun and reported the situation to him. Impossible. I have been keeping those pills with my senior brother for so many years, and I know them best. According to what you said, someone must have switched the pill. After listening to Li Qi's account, Li Jun immediately guessed the truth. Don't worry, I will find a way to solve this problem. Now let's carefully analyze the process. Firstly, I will immediately go to my senior brother and find out who has been to his booth before you. Secondly, we need to pay attention to disciples who have recently broken through the realm of blood exchange. Li Jun comforted. So, Li Jun found his senior brother and soon suspected that he had fallen in love with Lin Ming. Because Lin Ming's suspicion is too strong. He was just seen leaving his disciple's residence and entering the neighborhood. And his physique also matches the person who purchased the pill. Such a coincidence really has to be doubted. Chapter 5. The Protagonist, Lu Fan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After entering the inner door, Lin Ming followed the instructions on the token and arrived at the Tianxian Tower. The Tianxian Tower is the treasure trove of the Tianxian sect, gathering treasures from the sect for thousands of years. This is also the place where the gap between inner disciples and outer disciples is widened. Once you enter the inner gate, you can choose a treasure in the Tianxian Tower with a token. It is said that someone obtained a divine sword upon entering the Tianxian Tower for the first time and made a rapid progress with it, becoming a master of the sect in just 10 years. This person is the former head of the Tianxian sect, Zhen Li, who is revered as the Sword Immortal. However, Lin Ming looked at the Tianxian Tower and narrowed his eyes. He is not good at getting things by luck. Because whether in his past or present life, he is an unlucky person. Just as he was pondering, a 16-year-old boy with an expressionless face walked over. Lin Ming observed carefully and found that the young man was holding his hands tightly, with a hopeful expression in his eyes. He developed an interest in the scent of youth. At first glance, Lin Ming's eyes lit up. Name: Lu Fan, Realm. Early stage of Blood Exchange Realm, Destiny. Son of Heavenly Destiny, Prince and Prime Minister, accompanied by High People, Script. Protagonist, Recent Turning Point. Recently, on the ordinary jade box in the southeast direction of the Tianxian Tower, I obtained the peerless skill. San Long Huang Xiang Ju. From then on, it soared to the sky and became famous on the mainland within 5 years. Son of Destiny. In the face of crisis, one can always turn misfortune into good fortune. Feng Wang Bai Xiang. Having a rich and noble life, accompanied by high people. Despite having a humble background, favored by high people. That Sanlong Wilderness Elephant Technique. A peerless martial arts technique that was once famous on the mainland and attracted the encirclement and suppression of 10 ancient tribes due to its strength. After practicing this method, it can absorb ancient energy and help practitioners break through bottlenecks. Looking at this information, although Lin Ming was mentally prepared, he still froze. Is this the protagonist? It's really an extraordinary opportunity. However, he quickly shifted his attention to the last line of information. Recent turning point. Recently, on the ordinary jade box in the southeast direction of the Tianxian Tower, I obtained the peerless skill. San Long Huang Xiang Ju. From then on, it soared to the sky and became famous on the mainland within 5 years. Seeing this, Lin Ming narrowed his eyes and his heart was filled with thoughts. For Lin Ming, without activating the golden finger, he might never have seen such a treasure in his lifetime, let alone possessed it. He had to admit that some things were really destined. Although seizing opportunities from others is unethical, Lin Ming has not forgotten his identity. Green leaf. This means that he was born as a stepping stone for the protagonist, an insignificant little character. However, now that he has a golden finger, he can definitely take the initiative and seize the Tai-Gu dragon elephant as his own. Perhaps in the past, Lin Ming did not have the confidence to compete with the protagonist, but since he snatched the opportunity from Li Qi, his strength has greatly increased and his background has become deeper. It is not impossible to confront the protagonist. It's better to start first. After careful consideration, Lin Ming quickened his pace and walked in front of Lu Fan, entering the gate of the Tianxian Tower. After entering the Tianxian Tower, Lin Ming quickly advanced towards the southeast area. He carefully browsed through each area until he locked onto the target. At the bottom of a shelf marked with miscellaneous items in the southeast direction, he found an ordinary jade box. Although the appearance was ordinary and dusty, Lin Ming carefully observed it. He didn't care about anything else and quickly fixed his gaze on this ordinary box. He thought, who would notice ordinary goods covered in dust at the bottom? He thought with great anticipation, the dragon and elephant technique. This must be a good skill. Can I surpass others through this? It's up to you. Lin Ming picked up the box and quickly left the Tianxian Tower. However, during the process of leaving, he met Lu Fan. Lin Ming showed a friendly smile. Although Lu Fan was a bit jealous of Lin Ming's handsome appearance, he still nodded and greeted him. At the same time, a cold voice echoed in Lu Fan's mind, sighing. This person is not simple. Senior, what's wrong? Lu Fan asked curiously. This person's qi and blood are boiling, and their physical fitness is constantly increasing. Although it is slow, the long-term accumulation effect will be astonishing. In Lu Fan's mind, a peerless beauty frowned and said. Is this person so strong? His physical fitness is constantly improving. Lu Fan turned his head and looked towards the direction where Lin Ming had left, his face full of envy. The cold voice explained. He is not strong, but he swallowed the wash marrow pill. However, he is already old, and this treasure has little effect on him. The peerless beauty sighed and said. Forget it, don't discuss him anymore. Let's get the black dragon and wild elephant technique first. Lu Fan nodded and said, okay. After completing the registration, Lin Ming found his residence based on the token information. Not long after, he arrived at his residence. Through the distant scenery among the flowers and trees, he saw the scattered pavilions and towers in the distance, blurred in the hazy clouds, like a poetic painting. The gentle chirping of birds mixed with the faint fragrance of flowers came from around. Lin Ming sighed and said, it's truly the inner gate, the scenery is breathtaking. He walked into the room, locked the door with his backhand, and then took out the box. As the box opened, a piece of rag appeared inside. Lin Ming felt the mysterious atmosphere, the rhythm and rules flowing through it. He didn't hesitate and immediately picked up the cloth. The traces on the cloth began to fly into Lin Ming's mind, and a smile flashed in his eyes. After the last trace entered his mind, the cloth in his hand shattered instantly. Subsequently, these traces were arranged in an orderly manner in his mind. Lin Ming instinctively operated his martial arts, and a mysterious aura emerged within him, making him appear mysterious and unpredictable. Just as Lin Ming became familiar with the Tai Gu Long Elephant Ju, the woman in Lu Fan's mind inside the Tianxian building frowned. She said, no. The Zhenli Wilderness Elephant technique is clearly in the Tianxian Tower, why can't we find it? She felt confused, but decided to continue searching. This woman was a strong figure in the Tianyan Pavilion during her lifetime, skilled in divination. The day before, she put in a lot of effort to obtain a hexagram and learned that the Zhenli Wilderness Elephant technique was located inside the Tianxian building. They continued to search, but unfortunately, they did not find the dragon and elephant technique until the afternoon. Suddenly, Lu Fan looked at the Tianxian Tower and a wave of sadness surged in his heart. He felt an empty sense of loss, as if he had lost something important. However, he was unable to determine what he had lost and could only leave the Tianxian Tower with a sense of disappointment, comforted by the female sword fairy. The female sword fairy comforted him and said, it's okay, once your cultivation is restored, I will take another divination and definitely be able to calculate the whereabouts of the Azure Dragon and Wilderness Elephant technique. Don't worry, no one can take away the opportunity one promised you. Chapter 6. Who isn't pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger these days? You are listening at novelfull.audio. After familiarizing himself with the Zhenli Huangxiang technique, Lin Ming opened his eyes and looked down at the box in his hand. His gaze suddenly became much more complex. His eyes were mixed with many unexpected things. The Blue Dragon and Wilderness Elephant technique is a special cultivation technique. Absorb special energy and break through the bottleneck. In other words, as long as the special energy is sufficient, Lin Ming will have no bottleneck and can directly ask the Tao. Special energy. After some thought, Lin Ming took out the box from his backpack. Then, he retrieved the short sword from the box. The black short sword is very dilapidated, and at first glance, it indicates that it has been in old age. This is the identity symbol of the young clan leader in the family. The ancestral short sword. When Lin Ming placed it in his hand and operated the blue dragon and wilderness elephant technique, a mysterious force was absorbed by the tattoos on his arms through his hands. 5 minutes later, the dragon elephant tattoo on his arm changed completely from white to green. At this moment, an inexplicable impulse made him want to pierce the tattoo on his arm. Because of this force, he felt immense swelling and pain in his right arm. However, Lin Ming forced himself to endure it. Although there is a strong feeling in my heart that if I choose to use this power, it is very likely that I can break through the mid-cycle of blood exchange by asking for a short time. However, he also wants to give it a try. Everyone has a mentality of luck. What if one's talent is not bad? From noon until evening, until the next morning, Lin Ming has been meditating and practicing. However, at this moment, he still hasn't made any progress. Although the aura has grown a bit stronger. However, it just cannot cause the blood in the body to boil and then break through into the later stage. My name is reality, there is a guy named Lin Ming, and I gave him a hard slap. At the same time, Lin Ming's door was knocked on by someone. Is Lin Ming, the inner disciple, here? This is a very rich voice. Upon hearing this, Lin Ming frowned and said, I am currently practicing. What can I do for you? Oh, so my junior brother is practicing. It's like this. I'm Xuan, a disciple of the law enforcement hall. Someone reported my junior brother stealing pills, so I came to investigate the situation. Upon hearing this, Lin Ming raised his eyebrows. Stealing pills? Yes, external disciple Li Qi reported to junior brother that you stole pills in the local market yesterday. The disciples outside the door have a good attitude and are not as aggressive as they are said to be. Is junior brother available? If you have time, why don't we take a trip to the law enforcement hall? Upon hearing this, Lin Ming refused without even thinking about it. Sorry, I just realized that I need to meditate and digest. I'm just skeptical, there is no evidence, please leave. The Tianxian sect is a legitimate sect, and everything must be done according to the rules. If the disciples of the law enforcement hall did not break through the door and arrest someone in a timely manner, it proves that there is no evidence. Just a doubt. As his current inner disciple, there is no need to pay attention. Moreover, he buys pills in the local market and delivers them on one hand. What's going on with theft? Upon hearing this, Xuan outside the door had a bitter smile on his face. He knew things were not easy to solve. In fact, he didn't intend to intervene in such a matter, but there was no other way, so Elderly spoke up. Coincidentally, he once asked Elderly for help with alchemy, which is why this one happened. Xuan shook his head and left the courtyard where Lin Ming lived. At such an old age, Lin Ming can still enter the inner gate without passing the test to break through the realm of blood exchange. This indicates that there are big shots taking care of it behind the scenes. So, without evidence, he is also unwilling to offend Lin Ming. After seeing the disciples of the law enforcement hall leave through the crack in the door, Lin Ming sat cross-legged on the bed and took a breath in his heart. He plans to use the power in the tattoo. After all, my current situation is very unfavorable. Both Li Qi and the protagonist Lu Fan are potential dangers. These people may not be very good themselves, but with the help of influential people, they may not necessarily rise in the next second. If he had just traveled, Lin Ming might still have had a chance, thinking that everyone was carrying a head on two shoulders, and there was no difference. However, he only realized now that, it turns out that there are really differences between people. Lin Ming closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Then, with a thought, the surging force in the tattoo shattered with a loud bang. The mysterious power, starting from the arm, flowed to his limbs and bones. Shu Tan. Over time, he found that, my body has undergone tremendous changes. Clear-headed. Strengthened strength. Senses become sensitive. The body underwent a huge transformation. At the same time, he hurriedly practiced his martial arts. It's different from before. After this performance, the blood inside the body boiled. At the moment when his blood boiled, Lin Ming felt his strength surge. At this moment, I feel like I can beat myself to death with just one punch. It's done. After feeling the change in his body, Lin Ming quickly opened his panel. Name: Lin Ming, Realm. Mid-stage of Blood Exchange Realm, Destiny. Stepping Stone, Life Script. A short-lived edge character, Footstone. 3 days later, due to a confrontation with Zhen Li in the law enforcement hall, you angered the other party and caused a big fight between the two. Although your performance surprised everyone, in the end, you became Zhen Li's stepping stone. Your cultivation was abolished and you were assassinated on your way home. Seeing his own information, Lin Ming was slightly taken aback. Why is it still a stepping stone? He thought that after 2 great opportunities, he would not only be the youngest generation, but at least he would also be the proud son of heaven. But I never expected it to be a stepping stone. Zhen Li, it's not easy. Lin Ming narrowed his eyes, daring to depose himself in the sect, and still in front of so many elders in the law enforcement hall. This old man seems to be also a person who pretends to be a pig and eats tigers. However, do you really think that Lin Ming is afraid of you? Nowadays, who is not pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger? Lin Ming put away his things and prepared to go and take his maid. According to regulations, after breaking through the inner gate, a maid will be assigned to handle daily chores. Quickly tidying up, Lin Ming left the inner door. However, Lin Ming did not know that shortly after he left, Li Jun and the elders from the refining hall outside came to his residence. After the door was pushed open, the room was empty. Soon, when Li Jun learned that Lin Ming had left, his face was filled with a murderous aura. Obviously, the other party ran away. Wow! After learning that Lin Ming had broken through the realm of blood exchange, he set a skeptical gaze on him. Li Jun looked at the information about Lin Ming in his hand, a pair of eyes stared at Lin Ming's portrait, cold and unabashedly hostile towards him. Dare to take action on Tai Sui's head. Hee. Is it really so easy to take someone's belongings from me? In the empty room, Li Jun's cold voice rang out. Chapter 7. Zhen Li. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At the entrance of Tianxian Gate stands a small town. A wide east-west street was lined with shops, and a bustling crowd was selecting from a dazzling array of goods. The voices of bargaining kept coming and going, bustling and lively. Lin Ming walked along the street, confirming the information on his token while searching for his destination. Half an hour later, he finally found his maid at the training center for miscellaneous disciples. The girl was dressed in a flowing red dress, with a graceful figure and an elegant appearance. Her skin is fair and rosy, with a peach blossom-like blush on her cheeks, and her eyebrows and eyes are picturesque. Although her clothing is simple and washed white, it cannot conceal her beauty. The girl gazed into the distance, frowning slightly. She has received a notification that she has been assigned to a senior brother named Lin Ming, but why hasn't he come to pick her up yet? She was filled with curiosity about the personality and appearance of this senior brother in her heart. Adjacent to the girl, Li Qi was holding a folding fan and teasing Zhen Li. The senior brother of the miscellaneous disciple saw the situation and began to reprimand, saying, "What are you doing here? This disciple is already the maid of the inner sect senior brother. Please restrain yourself and don't harass him. Otherwise, I will tell the elders and let them teach you some lessons." Li Qi smiled and shook the folding fan, saying, "Senior brother Wang, what you said doesn't sound very pleasant. In terms of seniority, I am your junior brother. It's rare for my junior brother to meet a girl he likes. If you don't help match her up, you'll scold me instead. Is this a bit excessive, senior brother. Several disciples from the outer gate of the pill hall agreed. Yeah, senior brother Wang, everyone is from the same sect. Why do you have to do this? Senior brother Wang was so angry that he couldn't help but point to Zhen Li and ask. You ask this junior sister, is he harassing her? Li Qi immediately looked up and said. Senior brother, you really don't understand emotions. My behavior, for someone with an ugly appearance, is harassment. For people like me, it's flirting with girls. Junior sister, do you think so? He finished speaking and shook his folding fan, appearing quite charming. Zhen Li took a step back, her lips tightly closed, afraid to speak. As a miscellaneous disciple, she doesn't have much status in the sect. The only chance she can turn over is to meet a powerful inner disciple. However, why hasn't senior brother Lin Ming arrived yet? At this moment, Lin Ming squeezed through the crowd, looked at the girl with a portrait, and asked. Are you Zhen Li? A hint of joy flashed in the girl's eyes as she was about to answer when Li Qi interjected. Senior brother Lin, what do you want to do? Lin Ming glanced at Li Qi and didn't speak. Instead, he asked Zhen Li. Have you packed your things? Once you're ready, go back. The girl nodded heavily and said, Li Qi said somewhat angrily. I said, Senior brother Lin, please don't meddle in your affairs. I'm flirting with my wife, don't make me go crazy. Lin Ming slapped Li Qi in the face and then tilted his head to look at him, saying. Fury. Can you send me one to see? Li Qi was slapped and stumbled back 2 steps, covering his face with an incredulous expression. He was surprised to find that Lin Ming's speed was so fast. Although he was in the later stage of physical training, he didn't even see the opponent's movements clearly. He stuttered and asked, Did you break through? A hint of resentment flashed in Li Qi's eyes. He looked angrily at the little beast in front of him, who had stolen his precious pill. Breakthrough or not is not important, what's important is that I will beat you up. What do you plan to do? Li Qi felt Lin Ming's powerful strength, and he immediately turned around and ran away without hesitation. Junior brother. The 2 outer disciples next to him quickly followed Li Qi's footsteps. From beginning to end, the 2 of them never intended to take action. This is a mistake made by Li Qi. If they dare to help, they will be punished. Lin Ming originally thought that Li Qi would fight back vigorously, at least he would say a few harsh words. But I didn't expect him to turn around and leave without even looking back. Elderly Jun, do you know him? Lin Ming turned to ask the senior brother next to him. Is it elderly? He is a disciple of the Inner Gate Sword Hall Master. I only know so much, I am not sure about the rest. Senior brother Wang shook his head and said, There's no need to offend the elder. It's just a small matter, just endure it. After speaking, senior brother Wang invited Lin Ming and Zhen Li into the room together. Soon, a sumptuous table of dishes was set on the table. Zhen Li saw that Li Qi, who was harassing her, was being driven away. She quietly walked up to Lin Ming, grabbed her clothes, and said seriously. Thank you, senior brother. Upon hearing this, Lin Ming glanced at the young girl. Name. Zhen Li, Realm. Early stage of forging body realm, Destiny. Daughter of Destiny, behind the scenes Black Hand, Empress, recent turning point. 1 month later, he returned to the Empire, activated his bloodline, and then soared to the sky. After selecting a few to watch, Lin Ming waved his hand to the girl and signaled her to stop talking. You are now my maid, and I will ensure your safety. You only need to be responsible for my daily life. This is just a transaction, and there is no need to thank you. The girl Zhen Li opened her mouth but didn't say a word. She looked down at her toes, unsure of what she was thinking. After dinner, they began to handle the transfer procedures. Finally, senior brother Wang handed over Zhen Li's contract of sale to Lin Ming. Chapter 8. Enough of the fuss. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lin Ming took the promissory note and casually stuffed it into his waist. Lin Ming's mind was filled with thoughts. He realized that Li Qi's appearance was not simple, and he had to act carefully. Although both he and the other party come from the heavenly Xian men, this is not the stronghold of the heavenly Xian men. For safety reasons, Lin Ming applied homemade poison onto the weapon in case of an accident. If the other party is unreasonable and dares to find fault, he doesn't mind letting them taste the taste of resolving their grievances. After Zhen Li entered the room, the owner of the auction house occasionally gave Lin Ming a look that men could understand. Lin Ming smiled and nodded at him without saying anything. Although Zhen Li may be a big shot in the future, he has not considered relying on her to live a comfortable life. If he really wants to pursue Zhen Li, he only needs to write a love poem and say some greasy love words to easily win her heart. He is not inferior to a wealthy woman, he has his own golden fingers. In the evening, the sunset is like blood, reflecting on the vast earth. The distant pavilions and towers are faintly visible under the cover of flowers and trees, and the wind chimes sway under the eaves, making a pleasant sound. At the same time, Li Jun walked into the entrance of the miscellaneous disciples with Li Qi and some disciples from the pill hall. Senior brother Wang immediately welcomed them upon seeing them. Lin Ming saw the main leader coming and did not dodge, walking up to Li Jun. Brother Lin, you brother Wang wanted to say something, but Lin Ming knew his concerns. Although they are both disciples of the sect, Lin Ming is not afraid of anything because he knows he has not done anything wrong. At the same time, Li Jun glanced at Lin Ming and immediately threw the tea cup in his hand to the ground. Even if my disciples in the pill hall make mistakes, they should handle them according to the rules of the pill hall. After he finished speaking, Li Jun quietly glanced at Lin Ming, only to find that he didn't change his color, which surprised him a bit. He adjusted his tone slightly and said softly. As a disciple of the inner sect, it's not fair for you to publicly teach our disciples in the pill hall without saying a word, isn't it? This play was carefully planned by him with the aim of provoking Lin Ming. As long as the other party is involved, right or wrong, he can first imprison them and wait for the theft to be confirmed, and the sect will not interfere too much. Faced with Lin Ming, who remained unchanged, Li Jun felt a bit envious. My own son is simply a worthless waste. However, no matter what, he is still the son of Li, and if the opportunity is taken away, he naturally wants to retrieve it for his son. He flirted with female disciples on the street, shouldn't you hit him? Lin Ming rubbed the lime in his sleeve and asked back. No matter what happens, if you hit the disciples of our pill hall, you are hitting the face of our pill hall. The old man pointed to Li Qi's face and said. He is still a child, how can you slap him on the street? Do you call him a child? Lin Ming took 2 steps and stared closely at Li Jun. That's right, no matter how old Li Qi is, he will always be a child in my eyes. At the outer gate, I can go to the law enforcement hall in the pill hall or send him back to the pill hall, but it's not right for you to hit someone. I understand what you mean now. A hint of sarcasm flashed across Lin Ming's face. I'll go to your pill hall later and flirt with all the female disciples in front of you. You can't hit me or do anything to me. Instead, you have to send me to the law enforcement hall or back to the inner gate. Crazy. Li Jun glared angrily and suddenly stood up, facing Lin Ming. So let's wait and see. Lin Ming clenched the lime in his sleeve and watched the old man's anger. At this moment, a deep voice rang out. Have you had enough trouble? Chapter 9. Feng Yang. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After speaking, a middle-aged man walked out. Lin Ming looked up and found that it was the elder who was carrying him. He quickly bowed and said, Elder Feng. Upon hearing this, Elder Feng nodded and looked up at Li Jun, saying. Lin Ming is a disciple of my inner sect. According to your logic, he attacked the disciple of your outer sect's pill hall, and we will handle the person. Li Jun saw Feng Yang standing up for Lin Ming, but suddenly dared not answer. After a while, he stared at Feng Yang and asked, "You really want to get involved in this matter?" Feng Yang glanced at Li Jun, with his hands behind his back, and did not speak. Li Jun looked at Feng Yang's calm expression and then at Lin Ming's right hand stretched out in his sleeve. He dare not gamble, although Feng Yang has not really made a move, he can always stay in the inner goal. There must be exceptional skills. And that Lin Ming, who remained unchanged throughout, must have a trump card in his hand. What if there is really a fight and the people from the law enforcement hall come over? You know, this matter, after all, is his fault. He hates it now, his useless son can't protect his things well. At the same time, Lin Ming glanced at Elder Feng's panel and was slightly taken aback. Name: Feng Yang, Realm. Middle stage of the Tongyu Realm, Destiny. Natural talent, charity, lack of understanding, loneliness, tragic ending, script. Cannot be viewed, recent turning point. 1 month later, I broke through the seclusion, but my thoughts were not clear. After the seclusion failed, my heart demon backfired and my cultivation regressed. Half a year later, I died. Natural talent and extraordinary talent. The cultivation aptitude and comprehension far exceed that of ordinary people, and when encountering any realm constraints, they can break through faster than ordinary people. Charity and generosity. Although one's life is not satisfactory, one cannot see the hardships in the world. Unconscious thoughts. Due to the death of a friend practicing his own research technique, Feng Yang has fallen into self-doubt in recent years. Looking at this information, Lin Ming was stunned. He didn't expect Elder Feng to be so strong. It truly deserves to be the heavenly Xianmen. Just an elder on duty at the inner gate, surprisingly a big shot. Lin Ming was amazed. After feeling the strength of Elder Feng, Lin Ming immediately showed his intention to accompany you to the end if you want to continue playing or try. Li Jun saw that Lin Ming was so confident, and he was worried about the commotion, so he took the opportunity to take a shortcut. Elder Feng, everyone belongs to the same sect, why bother making such a scene? After speaking, he turned his head to senior brother Wang and said, "You were here all the time. Who is wrong with you saying this is? It's junior brother Li Qi who played hooliganism." Senior brother Wang saw Elder Li soften up and wanted to find a way down the stairs, but his heart suddenly became happy. Upon hearing this, Li Jun furrowed his brow and turned around to slap Li Qi, who was in a daze. He always thought that no matter what happened, Elder Li would stand behind him. But why suddenly hit yourself? Before coming, didn't I promise myself to be bold and do everything? Li Jun, he was also completely confused. Elder Li Qi covered his face and entrusted Chu Baba. Go back and deal with you. Li Jun picked up Li Qi with one hand and cursed, "You useless thing." Li Qi dared not speak and hung his head, letting Elder Li carry him away. If he had known he wouldn't have caused trouble, he wouldn't have come and got 2 slaps in vain. After Li Jun left, he muttered to himself. Why is Lin Ming so tough? My son has lost his life compared to him. After Li Jun left, Lin Ming said seriously, "Thank you for taking the initiative, Elder." Upon hearing this, Feng Yang waved his hand and said, "It's a small matter. Practice well, everything speaks of cultivation. You're lucky to have met me, what about next time?" He looked at Lin Ming and said with some meaning. Seizing opportunities, such as killing parents, remember to do things cleanly in the future. After speaking, he left with his hands behind his back. Although I knew that I would be discovered when I was trying to seize the opportunity, I didn't expect to be discovered so early. However, he has no regrets. If given another chance, he will still snatch it. Looking at Feng Yang's back, Lin Ming suddenly looked up and said, "Elder Feng, Lin Ming has taken note of your words." Upon hearing this, Feng Yang did not stop, but continued to move forward. However, at this moment, Lin Ming's words rang out again. Elder, practice leads to true knowledge. Don't worry about others' opinions. Whether you can walk this path or not depends on whether you have walked it yourself. Upon hearing this, Feng paused in his footsteps, but soon regained his original state. What do you know, little brat? Hurry up and practice. In Feng's mind, Lin Ming probably heard some news and wanted to encourage himself. But, a younger generation, they don't understand their own experiences at all. 3 years ago, Feng and his close friend went to a dangerous place, went through countless hardships, and finally obtained the treasure. Feng discovered a Taoist technique in the treasure and began researching it. As a result, after studying, his close friend suddenly broke his meridians and died of an explosion after practicing martial arts. So, from then on, Feng became disheartened. Watching Elder Feng leave, Lin Ming shook his head. He really hopes that the other party can come out of the shadows. He has always had a clear sense of gratitude and resentment. Elder Feng brought him into the sect, made an exception to enter the inner gate, and now he is helping him stand out. Well, it's so big. At this moment, Lin Ming was pondering whether he could help with ordinary matters. But I have a heart attack, it's difficult. There is still half a year left. I hope he can grow up and help him. After muttering a few words, Lin Ming turned around and greeted senior brother Wang, then took Zhen Li to the inner gate. Along the way, Zhen Li was very careful and didn't dare to look around. Even when entering the beautiful courtyard, the girl looks very cautious. Wherever Lin Ming went, the girl followed suit step by step, with a proper image of a small attendant. However, behind Lin Ming, the girl looked at his back and didn't know what was going on, always feeling very tall. After pondering for a moment, Zhen Li returned to the room and walked out holding a box. In her memory, in order to survive in the Tianxian Gate, she woke up at 5 a.m. to start mining. Encounter many white eyes every day. From childhood to adulthood, Zhen Li has never felt genuine concern. Today, Lin Ming's concern made the girl feel a touch of tenderness in the heavy winter snow. After a moment, the girl knocked on Lin Ming's door and said seriously. Senior brother Lin, please do it to you in the future. Upon hearing this, Lin Ming looked up and found that the young girl was pitiful and delicate. At this moment, he felt the girl was very pitiful. However, how many people are not pitiful in life? Everyone is just struggling hard. Don't be so polite. Before he could finish speaking, Lin Ming felt his hand being attracted by the box in Zhen Li's hand, and he trembled slightly. Chapter 10. Harvest a lot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Junior sister, please come inside. You say you're here, come and bring what gift? Put it here. Lin Ming suppressed the palpitations in his heart and began to entertain Zhen Li. Miss Zhen, try the tea brewed by senior brother. Looking at the girl in front of him with a bewildered expression, Lin Ming had a self-proclaimed friendly expression on his face. But the girl was stunned by Lin Ming's sudden enthusiasm and covered her mouth, her pupils dilated. Senior brother Lin, it seems like he has become a person. Before coming, Zhen Li thought that senior brother Lin would refuse him. But I didn't expect my senior brother to be so fickle. Is this a man? In the casual conversation between Lin Ming and Zhen Li, they quickly understood the girl's background. Although the girl's panel now looks not simple, she is not clear about her identity. In the girl's memory, she was sold into the sect from a young age and became a miscellaneous disciple. Watching the young girl blush and leave, Lin Ming squinted his eyes, his thoughts spinning in his heart. It seems that Zhen Li still doesn't know her talent. Is this kind of panel a reincarnation of a big shot? Or did the daughter of the strong fall into the mortal world? After thinking for a while, Lin Ming gave up thinking. Anyway, I didn't treat her unfairly. If I develop in the future, I should also be grateful to myself. Shaking away the thoughts in Xiao's mind, Lin Ming looked at the box in front of him, feeling nervous and forgetting. He knew that Bai Ji's talent was average, neither up nor down. Just like in my past life. Just an ordinary person. Nowadays, everyone thinks he is a genius, but he himself doesn't know if he is a so-called genius. Although I seized a lot of opportunities. But, Lin Ming still has no bottom in his heart. However, sensing the mysterious atmosphere inside, Lin Ming immediately opened the box. A amber jade pendant. According to Zhen Li, this female partner has been by her side since the beginning of her memory. Operate the blue dragon and wilderness elephant technique, and a trace of mysterious power is sucked into the arm from the jade pendant. The white dragon elephant tattoo turns green at a visible speed to the naked eye. Soon, the feeling of wanting to pick out a tattoo came again. Boom. Instantly asked, Lin Ming's body trembled suddenly, and a surging force exploded from his stomach. Subsequently, waves of blood gas spread from his body. The digestive system, 5 internal organs, bones, limbs, and almost every blink of an eye, the whole body's qi and blood boil. At this moment, Lin Ming's body was scorching hot. Upon closer inspection, he was found to be flushed all over, as if he was about to burn. It took 5 minutes for Lin Ming's body to return to normal. Feeling a significant improvement in physical fitness, Lin Ming lowered his head and looked at his face. Name: Lin Ming, Realm. Late stage of blood exchange realm, Destiny. Natural talent, small organic fate, script. Footstone, recent turning point. Your destiny has changed, and there seems to be fog blocking the way, making it difficult to see the future clearly. Lin Ming was surprised to find that his fate had changed. No longer, it was 18 that year. Standing outside was like a servant. But it's about innate talent and small opportunities. Looking at the description on it, Lu Tsang's face showed a pensive expression. Now it seems that everything is changing. Lin Ming thought to himself. In a moment, he took a hot bath and then carried a pot of wine, passing through the residence of the inner disciples, the Beast Hall, and the Pill Hall, arrived at the courtyard of Elder Feng Yang. He didn't forget what Elder Feng had said before. If there were anyone who didn't understand in his cultivation, he would come to him. Dong dong. Lin Ming knocked on the door 3 times and waited quietly at the door. Before long, Feng Yang pushed open the door. Seeing Lin Ming, he calmly said, "What's up?" Upon hearing this, Lin Ming smiled and said, "It's okay, just come and see Elder Feng." After entering, Lin Ming found the yard very rudimentary. He calmly glanced at Feng Yang's already white clothes. I thought to myself, it seems that when I go back, I need to go pull a few pieces of fabric and have the tailor sew a few pieces of clothing. Although Elder Feng is not lacking in these things, whether to do them or not is Lin Ming's intention. As for whether the other party wants it or not, that's another matter. Lin Ming suddenly remembered that Zhen Li's clothes were also turning white. And the development in the front is obvious, and they all don't fit well. I estimate that yesterday's outfit was something I couldn't bear to wear on a regular basis. Since we need to make clothes, let's make a few more pieces by the way. It won't cost much money anyway. If this is a female frequency novel from a past life, these little tricks of myself may not necessarily be the scene of cold-blooded madness falling in love with me. After chatting with Elder Feng Yang for a while, Lin Ming finally got to the point. Elder, it's like this, I'm very unfamiliar with the realm of practicing dirt. Upon hearing this, Feng Yang looked at Lin Ming with a smile on his face. After a while, he said. Being able to endure until now and come to find me can be considered calm. Practice, from practicing the realm of internal organs, is the foundation. Only by breaking through from the realm of internal organs to the realm of transcendence can one be considered to have entered the ranks of practitioners. Seeing Lin Ming's confusion, Feng Yang continued. Refining muscles, bones, and skin externally, and breathing in one breath, only by breaking through the extraordinary realm can one break through the limitations of the physical body and officially enter the world of Qi martial artists. Exercise your muscles and bones externally, and keep your breath in. Lin Ming chewed on Elder Feng's words, feeling lost in thought. What's wrong? How long until we can break through the realm of cultivating dirt? Suddenly, Elder Feng asked. Upon hearing this, Lin Ming didn't even think about answering, it's probably many more years. I've just broken through the realm of blood exchange, and I'm still in the early stages. Feng Yang pursed his lips, this guy can really pretend. Tell me, what did you get from Li Qi? There are no outsiders here. Ah. What did Elder Feng say? Lin Ming said with a righteous tone, Elder, my disciple is a righteous and upright person who acts openly and honestly. My disciple has been well known for many years, and no one knows that I, Lin Ming, am unparalleled in benevolence and righteousness. How could I possibly do something sneaky? Upon hearing these words, Lin Ming did not blush, and Feng Yang felt his face blush. This bastard, there's not a word in his mouth that's true. However, it's also good to be so clever. After closing down, you can feel more at ease. Soon, Elder Feng stopped asking further questions and began to explain in detail the problems encountered in his practice. After 2 hours, Lin Ming walked out of his yard with satisfaction. This trip, Lin Ming has gained a lot. Under the explanation of Elder Feng, many questions that were originally difficult to understand suddenly opened up. Leave the elder's residence and pass by the scripture storage building. At this moment, dusk is approaching, and the sunset is just beginning to bloom. The rosy glow pours down the wine and falls on the undulating mountains in the distance. The mist swirling around the mountainside is like a golden smoke cloud, ethereal and beautiful. At the same time, Lin Ming looked up and found that in the bright dusk, the son of Qi Yun, Lu Fan, was walking excitedly along a north-south stone ladder. What is he doing?